Well, hello, Zero Notice, and how are we all doing on this fine day? Welcome back to the Zero Shack indeed. Welcome, Bayadians. Welcome to the show, my friend. Let's just jump right into this. Oh, the memories. I was just examining many of my GoPro little equipment pieces and things like that. Brings back memories of going through national parks and just having great vacation fun. One of the interesting things I was just reminiscing was mounting the camera to the front of my hood so I would get that front end view as I maybe do the Grand Canyon or Yosemite or something like that, or maybe I'd put it sideways so I could get the riverside and, get the rafters going down the river as I, trek along. One of the things that really concerned me, though, while I was doing this was, although they say this thing can hold like 200 pounds, and I think it does, do a pretty good job holding as far as a mount, I was always worried about it just falling off. The vibration, maybe the heat or something from the hood of my truck, just causing it to lose and falling off. So what I did was I, very cleverly I would say, hooked this little leash system onto it. And you can see I just use a little clamp there with a wire. And on the other end, I just got these two carabiners and put two more wires with two more clamps on there. And you can see, once I have it suctioned on, I can simply leash this on there like that, and then take this end and attach it to who knows what. Actually, I think I attached it to my windshield wiper one time. But if it's on your roof or whatever, you know what I'm saying. On with the show! All right. CS from the Netherlands had a comment regarding busted again. He was just wondering if there was a sign in the park and how that all went down. CS, they were very, very nice about it. The guy just kind of came up and casually was like, hey bro, you can't do that here. I did not notice a sign. Doesn't mean there wasn't a sign. Did I intentionally look for a sign before I started flying that day? I wouldn't say I really did. I am aware of regulations and regulatory type things that might be in a park, but honestly that day I just did not see any sort of sign. What I did find out, I don't remember if it was that incident or some other place I was kicked out, was that in our city there is a flat out civil code ordinance that says you cannot have overhead objects in any city park or any city type dwelling type thing. So actually, what's surprising is that actually includes like frisbees and kites and shit like that. So and I asked, I said, does that mean? He goes, yeah. So when you go to the beach in our city, I think you're not, it explains. I noticed I don't see many kites and things like that. I believe that's because of the code that says there is no overhead objects permitted. Pablo Lacari is confirming that an app crash, as we've been talking about, will not inhibit or endanger or imperil your flight. Yes, your app can crash. He said his crashed. He just, like, the day after we were talking about that, he took it up. Oh my God, there goes my app. Crashes on his phone. And according to him, nothing happened. But we'll talk about that later. Connected to that, Drone Aerial. Little comment saying he believes that the Zero app works better on the iOS, or the version of the app for iOS is better than the Android version. Any thoughts on that, guys? I'm a Droid user, so I don't know. I've never used it with a iPhone, and I don't own an iPhone, so I can't really speak on that. Please leave a comment in the box if you have any opinions, and you too are a iPhone user. Back to the whole comment on if your app crashes, will your drone crash too? Well, what I'm hearing from Mr. Gehrdes is that it depends on what mode you're in. And he is saying, in fact, in mode 3, when you go into mode 3, I guess, the app begins to take part of, some of the brains of the flight, mainly automated flight. So I believe what he was getting at is if you are setting waypoints or doing some kind of follow or hover and your app crashes at that point, are you in danger? And he is saying, I can see maybe that's a possibility. Who knows what would happen, because that function, that brain function telling it waypoint, go here, go there, or to follow you, is going to disconnect at that point. What will happen then? We don't know. Why don't one of you try? I got an idea. Quick little follow-up on our flight planning video. Mr. Gehrdes didn't only listen, he took action. Mr. Gehrdes, you are fucking killing it, dude. I'm going to leave a link below. Mr. Gehrdes traveled to a very interesting monument, I believe in Pennsylvania. I'm kind of going out there when I say that, but I think I'm right. I believe it is in Pennsylvania. It is an old settlement. I believe gold miners or something who protected something there in some war at some time in history had to make a fortress, and that they did. And in this video, you will very, very plainly see how my friend, planned out his flight. Took it this way, you'll see what I mean. He uses a barn as a wonderful reveal to the monument, so you'll see what I mean. And at the end, he saves a wonderful for the very end, and a reveal all this really, really well done, wonderful composition, as they say. Mr. Gehrdes, you are fucking killing it! Guys, let's have a little talk. Now, we all know there are, I've always said there are like 1,000 more times stupid things you could do with your quad than creative and intelligent things to do with your quad. And what we're about to talk about, I truly believe in my heart, is something that none of us nutters or anyone subscribed to this channel would ever even consider, ponder, or think about. Yes, we're going to talk about the asshat of the week. Folks, don't be this guy. We're going to talk about a gentleman named Gene Carpenter. He is a 54-year-old man, far old enough to know better, out of Prescott, Arizona. As we all know, summertime is fire season, and on the western side of the United States, the fires are fierce and hot, and they go for many, many miles and many, many weeks at a time without control. On this particular day, Gene Carpenter decided it might be a good idea to take his drone and circle the firefighting action. I mean, what's more exciting than getting really up close to firefighters, putting their life at risk to save others' properties and lives that are in the way of the fire. Gene at that point decided that it would be best if he began circling the path of a apparent firefighting plane. As it was doing its work, the plane was forced to land. Mr. Carpenter took his footage home and did a little editing in the editor and made it look nice and put it up on his website, where authorities soon, thank God, found it. Mr. Carpenter has now been charged with 14 felony counts of endangerment and 1 misdemeanor count of unlawful operation of an unmanned vehicle. 14 felony counts this gentleman just received for flying his drone, doing something he thought might be fun, get that shot. What a fucking asshat. Gentlemen, ladies, if you own a drone, if you own a quad, I don't care how big, how small, never. And well, there, I think we're gonna wrap it up. For every big show we just saw, there has to be a short show, and this show might be that short show, I believe. If you guys got questions, I try to provide answers. You got something to talk about, and I'll try to talk about it. If you think I suck, please drop it in the comment box, and I'll, consider that one too. Until the next time, guys, I want you guys just to have a great life. Take it easy, and keep flying. Zero Nutters out!